Yeah, I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. I've been really in the field, let up. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Half a ticket to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Kinda check or something. Lately I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up, count it up. Lately I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives. Need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Reverend now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with Jay, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Half a ticket to a meal. Lately I just wanna run it
up. Yeah, baby, go run it up today. What's up with it?
To it. You tapping into all kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, man. Tapping into everything. So we got the final word in the building. Law, what's up, baby?
Oh man, it's all good over here, man. Just chilling. How y'all living?
Man, running it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we definitely got a lot to talk about today. Because me and Law was talking earlier. What's up, Big Game James? What's up, OC? First, I think we probably obviously want to say what's up to everybody that's on our channels.
What's good, everybody? I'm just sharing. I'm just sharing and sharing and sharing. Sharing is caring, so I'm just sharing everything that I can. So, how's everybody doing? And good to see all the panel on here as well.
Right on. Yeah, man. It's good to see you too. But first, because we got some topics we can get into. But Law, we ain't talked in a while.
Nah, we didn't, man. What's good?
Man, Law ain't talked in a while. Law don't love me no more. Law don't
come on, man.
Law don't love me no more, no, man. Law don't love me
over here, baby.
No, I don't know why your video froze. I'm getting your audio, but your video froze.
Let me see if I can fix the plane while it's in the air, man. Let's see.
And we do this all day long. We do this
building the plane while it's in the air. Y'all see me, I'm stuck in space. I look done over here. Murphy Law, though. Shout out to Murphy's, man.
Oh, no doubt.
Gotta have them part of the thing, right?
Oh, man. But see, we gonna rock it with you just how you look right now, man. I guess what's changed since the last time we talked, because the last time we talked, we were talking about drafts and this and that. I saw you on the show, the round table yesterday, man. You was doing your thing. It was a lot of discussion. We want to first hear from you. You've been the guy that we ain't talked to in a minute, man. What's up, man? Catch us up.
Well, one day at a time, one movement at a time. That's how I move. That's how I operate with. And the Dallas Cowboys always been on my mind and mental. These draft picks, although we kind of be in the middle of the road with it, but we can look at it and say to ourselves, this training camp is right around the corner. So that's where the iron sharpen iron, steel sharpen steel groove come from.
Right on. So yeah, man. I saw the show yesterday with the round table, man. It was very interesting. It was heavy defense, though. It was heavy defense, and that's cool, because today I want to talk about some offense. Everybody been concerned about the defense, but the offense is something that we can get into. And PFF came out with something. I want to take a look at it. Let me pull it up real quick. So PFF came out And this is the projections of each one of the weapons. Marvin P in the house. He say, "What's up, good people? What's up?" So I guess let's start with Dak, and we can go around the circle. What's y'all thoughts on PFF projecting 400 to 600 yards for Dak? We'll start with you, James. What you got on that, bro?
I don't have any problem with that. I mean, if you look at a lot of his years, going back to when he's been with the Cowboys, I mean, he's been pretty consistent around that. I mean, around those numbers. Dak Prescott has. So I think they're going by the trajectory of what they've been seeing in his entire career from his very beginning. I mean, he's been what? He got like, let's see. I'm going to see something right here since you brought all that up.
Yeah.
So, like, his first year, 3,900 yards. Second year, 3,300. Fourth, 4,300. Fifth, 49, and then we saw the record pace season that he was having before the injury. So if you look at the projection, all of his numbers have pretty much steadily have gone up, except his 2017 year. We know that was the second year. We understand there was going to be probably a little bit of a fall off. Ezekiel Elliott was suspended those 6 games. It was just kind of a train wreck type season, and as a whole, when Ezekiel Elliott got sidelined. But I think that's a pretty good projection. If you look at his numbers, that looks like about right. And I'm cool with that because I don't need him to throw no 6,000 yards. 4,600 is good for me.
Yeah. Law, what you got on that, my brother?
Well, when I look at Dak Prescott in general, last season, his overall production, of course, somebody can look at it and say, well, it was because the defense gave up so many points or what have you, and he was just throwing to get himself back into the game. No, if you look at looking at Dak Prescott throwing mechanics and the way he delivered the ball and the way it was exploding out of his hands, I believe that his pace and everything that they predicted, I think that it will be even better than what they got out there on paper.
Right. So you saying you betting on the over? That's what you betting on?
Yeah. I believe because you gotta include that there will be an extra game. So yeah, I'm looking at it like, that extra game will come into place, and on top of that, you got to look at all of the other numbers. So I just think that number will increase.
OC, what you got on that, brother?
Yeah, I think that's a mid-range conservative number. If you look at his overall production and his track, I think that with the weapons on the field, it's going to be extremely hard to effectively double team any one of those weapons that you showed on that first screen without exploiting a lot of a lot of yards after catch. And so I think that Dak lands between 5,200 up to around 6,000 yards this season with the extra game, and also with his trajectory and leadership, and how you have to honor that offense, how you have to honor the weapons. It's going to be very, very hard to focus and take away all 3 of those weapons. It's going to be near impossible. And so with that, look for these guys this year, in my projection, to have a lot of explosive plays.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest with you, man. I think they insulted Dak with that number, man. I'm being all the way honest. I think that number is way too low for Dak. Just being all the way honest. They didn't do.
I think they're throwing in Ezekiel Elliott. I know he didn't have the year last year, and we know he's not the guy that really runs this offense now. We understand that, but I think you're going to see a better Ezekiel Elliott. I think you're going to see Antonio Pollard more involved in the run game as well. And so, yeah, it may be a little conservative. I could say probably 5,000. But when you look at when he threw for 4,900 yards, he was slinging the ball everywhere. In my opinion, I don't mind Dak slinging it. But, I mean, if he ain't got to throw for all those daggone yards every single time, no matter how explosive the offense is, it's okay.
Right. And I think I still say it's too low, way too low. One of the main reasons I say that number too low is when I look at the pace he was on, right? Now, obviously that came with a lot of sloppy football where they was playing from behind. And this what they came out with, in my opinion, is really the assumption that Zeke is going to be basically still the bell cow. when you look at 1,400 yards and you see the conservative numbers on Dak, they basically saying that they go stuff Zeke the ball. Now, that's a good possibility, especially the way that, Zeke is getting all the hype and the love that he's getting, deservingly so, because he came in camp, extra in shape, So, but I think that's way too low, especially when you look at the video game numbers Dak was putting up. And then I think when you also mix that with the thought of the offensive coordinator we have. We got an offensive coordinator. He really likes to throw it. And McCarthy. Even all the way in Green Bay. They wasn't running the ball at Green Bay. And I know a lot of our fan base and me too believe in a running game, but I'm definitely on the over. Cause there's gonna be times we go get behind and Dak gonna have to do what he do. And he go do what he always does. He go chunk that thing and put up big numbers. Now, if they win, it's gonna be a team thing, but I think that's too low.
So what about this defense? We're all talking about we think this defense is going to be better from last year. It's got to be because it was one of the worst defenses out there. So if this defense is better and actually steps up and starts producing and actually creating turnovers and actually getting the ball off the field and actually creating a short field for the team, you still think that's going to happen? Because a lot of those crazy yards that we had in those games was because we were getting blown out, was because we were losing all those times. The game against Cleveland, he threw for over 500 yards. You saw how far we were down.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So
totally.
that pushed it up. When you have a 500, he had 3 games over 400 yards. And I believe all those games we were playing from behind.
Right. I don't think it's going to happen if we had a scenario you just said. So if we had a scenario to where the defense is generating massive turnovers and giving us short fields, nah, Dak ain't gonna have to throw it like that. We go lean on the run game and close our games. But if we get in trouble,
Go ahead.
I think there's something to consider is offensive philosophy. I think that Mike McCarthy, to your point earlier, Boss Cowboy, when he was winning Super Bowls and going deep in the playoffs, was to spread out the defense and throw the ball all over the field. So I don't even think that it's so much if we get turnovers and the field is short. I still think in those situations we're going to throw the ball 55-60% of the time, and then at some point Zeke will close it out. So I think it's about play calling and scheme, and I think this scheme is built to throw the football all over the field. Thus the investments in the weapons, thus the investments that we've made the last couple of years on offense.
So you think we could go through the perimeter?
Yeah, we're throwing this ball all over the yard,
Yeah, I
man,
think so
as much as possible. We're throwing this ball all over the yard. And we paid Dak $160 million, not just for him to hand off the football, but for us to put that pressure on his shoulders and say, Dak, you're the leader of this football team, lead us to victory, prove it was worth it. Because that's the next conversation about Dak Prescott. I'm going to say it before it happens. Was he worth it? Was he worth the money? Can he show that he can put this team on his back and win football games? And he's going to have some opportunities this coming year when they get behind to prove it. Because I think that the defense is well improved. To your point, Big Game James, really, really improved. But I think that the growing pains of having young players, you're going to have some up and down games. You're going to have some boom games, but then also you're going to have some games that you're a little bit let down. And in those games in particular, Dak Prescott is about to lead this team to victory.
Yeah. Go ahead, Big. I can tell you chipping at the bit.
Oh no, I was just looking at the numbers, and I went through them, and I would say, I would agree that this is a more offensive friendly as far as passing, because Kellen Moore, this is year 3 with Kellen Moore and Dak Prescott, and we do know notoriously that Mike McCarthy does like to throw the ball everywhere. He's done it everywhere he's went. Even though he still had a run game with Eddie Lacy, ran the ball. But when I looked at the numbers, every game it's averaging 270 yards a game. In a 17-game season, if they gave him those numbers, 270 yards passing a game, yeah, that's not going to happen. Let's just keep that real. He's not going to average 270 yards passing a game. I definitely think he's going to average at least 300 yards passing a game, if not probably more.
Damn. Ooh-wee.
Real
go
talk.
ahead, Law. We got Law back. Look at Law. Look at Law.
I'm back down. Yeah. Hey, man, if we average that, man, this is going to be gorilla nuts crazy, man. And I'm just telling you guys right now, it could quite possibly happen. You got CeeDee Lamb, you got a Amari Cooper.
Right.
Oh my goodness. You got a Michael Gallup that's gonna go into a contract year. So you know, that boy's gonna ball out. And he's not like one of these guys like a diva and these sorts of things.
Right.
Hey, he hears what people are talking about. He's gonna show up and show out.
Man.
Law, I could not
crazy.
agree with you more. I couldn't agree with you more, Law. I couldn't agree with you more. Because anytime a man is playing for his life and he has the ability, he's playing for a second contract. He's playing for his and his family's financial future. Let's not kid ourselves. Now put yourself in that position, Boss Cowboy. What would you do? How hard would you train? Would you be well and fully intended? And Michael Gallup, to your point, it got the body of a Herculean goddess, man. The dude is in phenomenal shape. He's gonna come ready to play. And anytime you double Amari, or anytime you want to go ahead and drop extra safety to cover a CeeDee Lamb in the slot, Gallup is gonna go bananas. And if you double Gallup, well, Amari Cooper's he's going bananas. So it's like pick your poison. If you don't get hit with the right hand, you go get hit with the left. And that's why I said I think it's gonna be a lot of explosive plays because we don't have a bunch of great secondaries on the schedule that the Cowboys are gonna play, which is like the 25th ranked schedule, 25th, 26th ranked schedule in the NFL this year. So they don't have a tough schedule based upon winning percentage of the teams from last year. And that's why you're going to see a lot of explosion, in my opinion.
Final words. Over, under. Everybody got one word. I'm over.
Over.
Over. Definitely over. And just one more thing about Michael Gallup as well. If you heard a lot of them talking, they said they've been using Michael Gallup in the slot this year. And he said he's really been loving it. That's more opportunities from him because usually he's been playing out there on the outside. But they've been trying to move him around as well and let him get favorable matchups. And they've been throwing him in the slot. And that's only going to help Michael Gallup's numbers and be able to get him more opportunities. And I think with the rapport Dak already has with all the receivers, especially with, I'm sure he has with everybody, but, they got a good camaraderie, Dak and Michael Gallup, and they already have. So I think Dak is going to want to get Michael Gallup money. So I think he's definitely going to be looking for him as well.
Man, right on. So you over. I want to get you on record. You over?
Hell yeah. I told you from A1 day one, I ain't been even talking about this offense all off season because I'm not worried about the offense. I haven't spoken one thing because I already know the offense going to turn up.
Yeah, they go turn up. So we all in agreement. But this is the deal. So it's been a lot of talk about one of our guys, though, man. We heard stuff like fat, out of shape, lost the step. Law, are you going to lay down the law? That's all I want to know on this Zeke stuff.
Yeah, let's lay it down, baby.
It's a big thing for Boss Cowboy to actually say publicly that he drunk Kool-Aid. Listen, I do not drink Kool-Aid without first measuring. So before we get into that, y'all already know what happened. Hold on. What you mean? Sure. Come on now. Yeah, because we need to talk about that. We need to talk about that, Big J's. I don't drink that Kool-Aid without measuring. So we going back to the board, taking a look at it. And they got Zeke with 1,400 yards PFF. Going around
1,400 total yards.
That's tough. They insulting, bro.
That's total. I'm saying, but they're probably throwing in. So they're probably throwing in his pass catching yards, which is probably like around 400 to 500 every year, around that. So they're probably thinking like he's a 1,100 yard rusher now.
Oh, they doing
if that.
Oh, hold on, Law. No. Law said he was gonna lay down the law. Here it is.
3, 2, 1, drop it.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
Those grills, drop it hard.
Let's go.
It's time to
Law.
Let's get right into it, man. Hey, everybody look at the end result and think that's where you need to be. No. To preserve Ezekiel, Elijah, Elliot, the path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish. What you got to do is, you can't look at the selfish part of it. You got to look at what TP, Tony Pollard, all he been doing this offseason has been working out. So I come here to tell you guys that I probably look at it minus the total numbers, but as his collectively speaking of his total rush numbers, may be under that 1,400, because I don't know what all of they talking about as far as catching as well as running, because you got to split that thing in half and you got to give a little piece of it to Tony Pollard. I don't know his middle name, so y'all can post his middle name in the inside of the box somewhere. But I'm telling you guys that Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard together, it's going to create so much nuances. And hopefully, Kellen Moore can draw up a plan, a game plan to put these guys together. Because when you look at that film, look how he squirts, squeeze, and get up there and get off of me. That's Tony Pollard. So I want a little bit of mixture of Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott, and a half a glass of Kool-Aid. Make sure the Kool-Aid is blue, by the way.
Oh, no, Law. No, Law. We only do red over here, brother. We do red Kool-Aid over here, man. The Kool-Aid, man. No, we only drink that old red Kool-Aid over here, brother. We don't do that. No. But for you, Law, you right. We got you, Law. We got you. We got the... Yeah, there it is. We got you, Law, man. We got some...
With the 1-2, baby.
Yes, man.
We've been eating, baby.
Yes, man. Law, trust me, man. I got you, man. I got you. When you say blue, we come out with the blue. What y'all got on that, OC?
Man, look, man. I'm gonna say this, man. I think that if Ezekiel Elliott had not worked hard, he would be the most foolish back with $100 million contract I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
So he understands that it's a degree of pressure on him. He understands that the expectations are sky high, and he also understands that he has a very able-bodied, young, explosive back that's playing behind him, who's also trying to get paid. He's also trying to get paid. So do not forget the business part of this. So if Ezekiel shows that he's not up to snuff in terms of being quick and being explosive and have him bursting with some big plays, they're going to give those looks to Tony Pollard and let him just get the ball on 3rd and short. And then it's going to be an issue about is he overpaid going into the offseason. So I'm telling you right now, look for Ezekiel Elliott to have a breakout year, to bounce back and to play some of the best football you ever seen him play since he came in the NFL. That's what I think about him. So I think that a 1,300 to 1,400 yard rushing, just rushing alone, is probably in the sweet spot of where he should wind up. He should go for at least 1,200 to 1,300 this coming year, just rushing the football.
Oh, my. I felt disrespect for Zeke. What you got, Big?
I mean, just bouncing off that, I'm looking at like maybe 1,200 yards, like 1,250, 1,257. 1,257-ish. I would like that because, not just what OC was saying about, Tony Pollard being behind you. We got to look at it. Ezekiel Elliott's getting older. He's not young any longer, and his contract is coming up to where you can get rid of Ezekiel Elliott in a year or two. And Ezekiel Elliott has to look at, I might got this money here, but where am I going to go after this? Am I going to get another contract with Dallas? Am I going to go play somewhere else? So Ezekiel Elliott's got to look for his future right now, whether it could be with the Dallas Cowboys or with another team later on. So he's got to prove that he still has it. So even if he doesn't play with the Cowboys with another contract, another team picks him up and he still be able to do what he wants.
Let me ask you this, Big Gabe James. The Ezekiel Elijah Elliott. I know we don't normally do comps, but who do you compare him to? This is his year 6 now. So who do you compare him to, if you can find a player?
Jeez. A running back?
Ooh.
I got a guy that if I wish I could have, if we were more prepared, I would have been slide this information over to my dog over there. But if you go to Pro Football Reference, you can type in Adrian James, right? And
great comparison.
That's a great comparison.
Great
But
great
I'm
comparison.
not saying that he is edge. But who do you guys? Y'all. I hope.
I
you
mean,
guys can go to that
that's
NFL
hard for me
comparison.
to run away from when you said edge. You get what I'm saying? Because of the way Edge played, he was, elusive, but he could also run you over. He had that speed, but then at the end of the day, he started losing that speed. He became more of a power type back.
There
And
you
so I
go.
can see where you're talking about being morphed. But I will also say this, though, if we look at Ezekiel Elliott this year, because remember, Ezekiel Elliott has been known for just running through people, running over people, and bringing down his body.
Ooh.
Now he's using the trash cans, and now
Yes.
he's using the
Yeah.
other little things, because now he's seeing that I got to save and preserve my body. I think
Thank
OC
you.
had mentioned it. I got to preserve my body, so let me get out here and duck these trash cans. Let me shaking this and doing that. And I don't have to run up there and knock 3-4 people over every single time, because those carries right there take life off your football years.
No
Man.
doubt. My dog Emmitt Smith used to do it all the time. You're like, hey, what I'm extra 3? I'm out of bounds.
Thank you. Say, man,
ain't
that's why I
taking-
like
I ain't
doing
taking
shows
them
with
hits.
Vets.
Emmitt was selfish like a
Taking them hits.
Man, hey, I got a
most
video
selfish,
coming out in the
unselfish guy.
morning saying exactly what both of y'all just said. Literally said everything y'all just said, where I'm so happy that he spent his off season working on agility. So for those of us who want him to actually finish his contract, this is what you want to see this off season. This is what you want to see, Lo.
And guess what color? Look what color it is.
Betty Blue Kool-Aid, brother.
Raspberry blue lemonade.
Ooh,
Somebody put in the comment
talk
box.
that talk, man.
So listen to your point, Big Game James, which is just absolutely tremendous. Edgerrin James played 14 seasons, and only 4 of those seasons he had less than 300 attempts rushing the football. Think about that.
Warm down.
In 14 seasons, 10 of those 14 years, he had more than 300 rushing attempts. So what you find is that to preserve that body, and here's the benefit, the league is different than it was when Edgerrin James played. So if Ezekiel Elliott is smart, because he is a good route runner, he could have a strong back end of his career, almost equivalent to a Marshall Faulk with mismatches versus people if he is given an opportunity to put that into his game. But yet to avoid all this contact and just trying to be He-Man, even though you're young and strong, is absolutely the best thing for him to do.
Yeah,
Real
definitely.
quick, what y'all think it is? The most rushing yards since 2016. Zeke's still number 1 on that, man.
I mean, but you saw what he was doing. I mean, before he had this past season, I mean, he was still almost up there, averaging almost 100 yards rushing a game in his career. I mean, he was in the high 90s, and he was in the top half of like all-time backs still. So you really can't take that away from Ezekiel Elliott. And I mean, is he 25 now? Is Zeke 25 or 24? 24, 25?
I think 25.
Is he 25 right now? So, I mean, it ain't that many years left, though. Let's keep it real. And we seen, I mean, let's look at Todd Gurley. I mean, I know he had the injuries, but we seen how Todd Gurley was the man, right? And then, like, in 2 quick, short years, now he's looking for a job.
Patrick Ewing knees, don't he? Got those bad knees.
You get what I'm saying? So the shelf life of a running back goes very, very quick. So you got to cash in on the opportunities you have. And like you said, the game is changing, and it's more a receiver based. And now they want these running backs to be able to be pass catchers, and it's going to add years onto your career. I mean, you seen why Le'Veon Bell was effective, Marshall Faulk, those other running backs, because when you can pass catch, it does allow you to play longer.
So James, so although this is a pass happy league, is also a 2-back league? 2 running backs?
Definitely. I mean, I hope we can finally figure out how to incorporate Pollard in there. Because I mean, I know they're playing him at receiver, but it's more because the receivers have been hurt in camp. But they need to find, this is his 3rd year. They need to find, he's explosive, man. We saw just a little bit when Ezekiel was dinged up that San Francisco game. Let's take that. I think he got over like 150 yards. We saw that explosiveness. We saw the breakaway ability. We're like, man, can we get some more of that? So I hope they can figure it out as far as Kellen Moore and how they want to incorporate him. But he's got to get some more rep for real.
Well, let me ask you this then, James. You know, since we're speaking about running backs, was Kamara better when he had the other guy from Alabama? I forgot his name. He went over to the Ravens.
Mark Ingram.
Was he better with Mark Ingram, or is he better now just by himself, basically?
He's definitely better with Mark Ingram because Mark Ingram was the battle ram. He could battle up and he could break up that defense, wear it down, and then Kamara could come through and get that breakaway ability and, like I said, pass catching ability. And plus, you got two running. Two is always better than one, ain't it? Two is always better than one. And you know what I'm saying? So if you got two good backs, let's use them, man. This is a two-back league now. Like OC said, Boss, I believe, mentioned it. This ain't the 90s no more. This ain't where Fred Taylor and those guys, they getting Eddie George getting 400 carries every single year. They ain't doing that no more. So you got to be able to use at least two of these backs to be able to optimally open up your offense the way you want to, in my opinion. The most devastating offenses I see is when you got a couple of backs that can do multiple things for you.
Yes, indeed. So Zeke is Zeke. So what is Pollard's ceiling then?
Ooh, as far as the running game or just overall?
I think they need to use
I'm gonna wait to see if
like
somebody say Kamara. If somebody say Kamara, that's just gonna be like, man, that would be amazing, right?
Yeah.
But what's his ceiling?
Yeah. Kamara.
He ain't going. Yeah, but he ain't going. Yeah, he's special. He ain't going to get the tick.
Yeah, and then Kamara is not Pollard is not a Kamara. Kamara is special.
Right.
I mean, listen, Pollard is good. Nothing against Pollard, but he ain't an Alvin Kamara. Kamara is a guy that actually showed toughness in between the tackles, showed explosiveness and like next level elusiveness against first level and second level defenders. He's a very, very unique back, right? Pollard is your explosive type back. Big play back. How do you use Pollard most effectively? I said this for a couple years now. Use Pollard like you used him on the pitch outs. Quick pitches, screen games. Use him on misdirection plays where you get him one-on-one just like this play versus a slow linebacker that can't catch him like LVE. No offense, LVE. But I'm saying, here's the deal. You get him one-on-one in space. That's how you utilize him. That's where he was most effective in college at Memphis. One-on-one in space. You're going to bear down and put 8, 9 in the box. There it is, the quick toss right here. Get him in space. Here he is again. Make him miss. Make him miss. Here it is. Spin around. Make him miss. All right, and get a big chunk of yards down the field. So that's how you use this guy. And then in between the hashes, you're going to use Ezekiel Elliott, but you just want Ezekiel Elliott to have some burst and make some big 20, 30, 40-yard plays here and there, right? Which you can get out of Zeke, which you hadn't seen really in the last couple years. So I think those are the two differences between the two backs. But with all that said, guys, and this is my last thought, we are tough on Zeke. But Zeke is a special human being, man. He's a special running back. Yeah. He's top end elite. And if he plays another 4 or 5 years, he'll be considered one of the best backs to ever do it if he can stay healthy another 4 or 5 years and put up similar numbers on the back end of the first 10 years of his career.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if he could do like a Frank Gore, that's a good comparison to me. Yeah. I mean, at the later stage, because Frank Gore would run through you, and Frank Gore had the slippy speed to get away from you, and he was super durable. After all those injuries, I mean, when Frank Gore came into college, came into pros, we were like, man, Frank Gore gonna play with them knees, and he's been super durable.
Durable.
And the beautiful thing, Big, to your point, man, this offseason, he helped himself by working on his agility, because that's also Gore's game. Gore don't take hits. You can't go late in your running back career and not be very conscious of the building up of hits and contacts. So I'm so happy that at this stage, Zeke gave us the battering ram his first 4 years, and now I want him to fully go all the way into agility if we want him for the long term. Because if he does what typical backs does, where they're going to continue to try to be that battle ram, we're going to see Zeke 2 more years. So to see this type of offseason from Zeke, it gives me hope that we might, with his durability already being so freakish, we might see that boy for the long haul. You know what I mean?
Hey, you know what? When y'all were talking about the projections, I'm apologize. Y'all was right, because I'm looking at this projection even with Amari Cooper for 1,182 yards, right?
Yeah.
He had that last year. He had 1,114 with Andy Dalton and yeah. So I'm gonna have to take that back, because I'm like, Man, he had that with Dalton and them.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And CD was turning up before Dak got hurt.
So speaking of that, bro, you know, I see straight up Cooper as the game changer. I really do. Like, do you see Cooper as your game changer?
Man, who gonna go first with that one? Are you talking the big game?
Well, hold on. You know what I'm doing. Here we go. Playing with the toys.
Hey, I love being a Cowboy.
Big Game James.
Game changer.
Hey, let's have some fun. Let's have a good time, man. Let's kick it.
So is he your game changer, bro? Because that's your segment, the game changer. Because he my game changer.
I love some Coop. But CD Lamb gonna be my game changer, dog. I'm sorry, dog. Ain't no disrespect to Coop. I promise you, ain't no disrespect to no Coop. Coop is a beast. Coop is nasty. Coop is the dog. I ain't never took nothing away from Coop. For real, that route run is just surgical.
Yeah.
But that CD Lamb, dog. He done got, I'm telling you, that's another dude that you done got bigger. I mean, he got bigger with muscle. You seen him still training. And I feel like this is a dude that really, really, really takes it personal about his craft. He wants to be great. He wants to be the best. He wants to be that dog. And I think he's going to improve. And I think people talking about his drops last year, I think he wants to show everybody, because CD Lamb, to me, ain't no guy that drops the ball. He didn't do it in college. I think it was just a situation where you start losing focus, you start losing concentration, those things happen. But I think my game changer is going to be CD Lamb. He's going to turn all the way up this year. And I think he's just going to be explosive. And he didn't change his number. He kept it on 88 because he want to be great.
Hold on. Hit that button, Law. Hit that button.
Which one? I got another.
Hold on. Ooh, cuz he let it know.
Hey, I love being a Cowboy.
Big Game James. Go
Big
get your
Game
dog, man.
James.
Game changer.
Hey, let's have some fun. Let's have a good time, man. Let's kick it.
I'm talking about you shocked the world with that game changer, bro. Over Cooper? I'm over here actually mad at you for that, bro. I'm trying to act like I'm cool.
Go ahead.
I actually don't like you.
Go ahead
for
and be mad. Go ahead and be mad, because every time I'm listening to Dak Prescott saying CD Lamb gonna be phenomenal this year. That's what I heard. I didn't hear. Now listen, this ain't no diss. Understand what I said? I didn't hear Dak Prescott say Coop gonna have a phenomenal year this year. I heard him say CD Lamb gonna have a phenomenal year. I heard Mike McCarthy say CD Lamb gonna go all the way nutty. He knows all the receiver positions, and it's easy for him now. I'm just listening to them guys, and they're all saying CD Lamb.
Man, you can't hear you being just messy today, man. You can't.
No, he ain't. No, he ain't, Boss Cowboy, because I'm doubling down on that big game,
What
James.
the hell going
CD
on?
Lamb is your game changer, not
him.
Amari Cooper. No, sir.
Oh, man, y'all.
Issue,
Oh, shit.
Too much
Tell him,
solid
OC.
issue. Too
Tell
much
him,
angles. And listen, I'm gonna tell you, it's a little bit of dying in the fourth quarter sometime by him. Super talented guy. A little bit of death in the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter. I need big plays, son. I need you to come up big, son. And I'm telling you,
what I'm hearing.
I'm looking at youth. I'm looking at hunger. I'm looking at work ethic. And those are the things that I see from CD Lamb. Now, CD Lamb is benefited greatly because he plays with a Gallup and an Amari Cooper. Thus, you cannot take him away, right? So that helps him greatly. But Amari Cooper, yeah, he's your number one receiver, excellent route runner, great speed, has great nuance, and has an understanding of the game. But your big game changer this year, I believe he's going to go for over 1,100 yards, will be CD Lamb.
Oh, that's easy. Yeah, he going to do that.
Yeah, he gonna
do that.
He gonna turn
over 1,100
all
easy.
the way up.
Oh, he gonna top that. He gonna top that.
He gonna turn all the way up.
Oh, he gonna turn up. Like, he gonna turn up. But see, listen, y'all. This perfect for my segment, because y'all just pissed me off. It's a big thing for Boss Cowboy to actually say publicly that he drunk Kool-Aid. Listen, I do not drink Kool-Aid without first measuring. So what I've heard was was some Kool-Aid drinking, I think. Did I hear some Kool-Aid going on?
Oh, but this legit. This Kool-Aid is super legit. This is your grandma's Kool-Aid. This is when your grandma make that Kool-Aid. Can't nobody make no Kool-Aid better than your grandma, dog.
Oh my God! So
Oh,
hold on.
boy.
I just want to make sure
I can't wait for my
both of
turn.
You blasphemers correctly.
Lost. I
Wow.
can't wait for my turn.
Oh shit! It's your turn right now.
I'm gonna sprinkle some of Mama's cooking. As my guy Kwame Brown would say. How dare y'all be disrespectful to the man
not
that's gonna
disrespect. Nope.
make
Thank you.
safety over the top roll to his side.
Yes.
Not to the other side, but they're gonna roll to Amari Cooper. And I'm gonna tell you guys, even with the safety rolling over to the top on his side, Amari Cooper cut them up like a Ginzu blade because that's what he do. Even when the quarterback went down, Amari Cooper was the most consistent guy still running his route. We had Ben DiNucci. We had the Red Rifle, who need to get that name taken away from him. And we had Garrett Gilbert one game to try to throw the ball to the Amari Cooper, and Amari Cooper is that guy. So you know this is not checkers, this is chess, and that is what he do. He is one of the best out there. So many people love to excoriate and sully and denigrate his name, but Amari Cooper, I'm telling everybody right now, he's gonna sprinkle.
Hold on, let me get him on.
Hold on. Yeah. I got
Please.
in here. Yeah, I got because
Sprinkle.
that ain't sprinkling because I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle this. No, let me sprinkle this. Let me sprinkle this right quick. I'm gonna sprinkle 74 catches with Andy Dalton and DiNucci for 935 yards as a rookie. That's what I'm going to sprinkle to you. I'm going to sprinkle that to you. And you don't think that that's not going to be eclipsed big time? That was with a rookie with DiNucci and Dalton and no Dak Prescott for like 8 games. You don't think if you got almost 1,000 yards and only had Dak for 5 games, he ain't going to go nutty? Now, we also going to say that Amari Cooper opens the game up for everybody else, but we also know that CeeDee Lamb came in as a number 1 receiver. Did he not? He was a number 1 receiver. Everybody was talking about he's the number 1 when he comes in on any team. So let's not act like he's a number 3.
And let me cut off Boss Cowboy at the pass. Big Game James. Let me cut off Boss Cowboy at the pass. Because I already know what the kind of stuff that Boss Cowboy is going to say to that. I already know. I've been rocking with him long enough to know the kind of stuff he's going to say to that is that number 1 rookie receivers do not play very well. They flourish underneath a veteran receiver. And then normally in year 2 to 3, they're going to be excellent receivers and able to take over the number 1 position. Well, here's the deal, Boss Cowboy. This is year number 2. Now, let me add a little bit more fuel to the fire. No disrespect to the great Amari Cooper. I feel like he's a great receiver. Okay, let me state that. Okay, you can yawn all you want, son, but here's what the data says, and the numbers don't lie. Listen, he had 92 receptions, Amari Cooper. He had 74, CeeDee Lamb. But here's the teller. Here's the telling thing that I do want to point out that's very important. And this is what the data suggests. Amari Cooper was targeted 130 times for 92 receptions. CeeDee Lamb was targeted 111 times. Yards average on reception was 12.6, which is higher than Amari Cooper's 12.1. And the touchdowns were the same. The touchdown was the same. And I see you moving the chains with a fire comment, because how in the world can you not say that CeeDee Lamb is not going to be the man when he's placing the 2nd or the 3rd cornerback on every team, and he's doing this, and he's doing that. He's doing this, and he's doing that.
And he was killing them.
I mean, so I don't even see the turn. I don't see the discussion. All right, so wait a second. Hold on, Boss Cowboy. Hold on.
I'm waiting.
Because I got one more thing to say. Listen, the points per average of every 100 snaps, if you dig down into miscellaneous stats, it was 19.9, almost 20 points per 100 snaps, versus Amari Cooper, who's your number 1 receiver, only 15.5 points. Okay, I'll be quiet now.
All right,
Go
thank
ahead.
you. I appreciate your quietness. Now I want to
I love
remind
it.
everybody why
You lost.
No,
Go
I
ahead,
ain't lost
retort.
nothing. I want everybody to
You
listen and
lost.
listen close. It's a big thing for Boss Cowboy to actually say publicly that he drunk Kool-Aid. Listen, I do not drink Kool-Aid without first measuring. So here comes the measure, and y'all know I don't play with this. If y'all would have listened to Moving the Chains, all you got to do, I always say this, just let people talk. That's all you got to do. Just let them talk, and they'll talk themselves right into your point. See, because you brought this up that Lamb is going against the number 3 receivers. I did a video on that today. So you bringing up numbers. You literally trying to bring up numbers. Who is the person, to Law's point about denigration and all the big words that he used, right? Who's taking the number 1 corner every game and still putting up 1,000? Law tried to tell you, but you didn't want to listen. If you telling me right now, if they put nickels on Cooper, you know Cooper would do almost 2,000. When you guys stop it right now, I didn't lose nothing. This is called measured Kool-Aid drinking. You start with water, then you add the appropriate amount of sugar. What happened to you guys? Y'all went straight for the sugar. Y'all need to listen. It's a big thing for Boss Cowboy to actually say publicly that he drunk Kool-Aid. Listen, I do not drink Kool-Aid without first measuring. Shots fired. Let's go.
That was a great. That was a great
Boss
point, bud.
Cowboy, Boss Cowboy. Your point is mediocre at best.
Whoa!
Because Mike McCarthy has stated,
The
and we've even shown. Wait a second, that CeeDee Lamb plays not only the slot, he plays the X, he plays the Z, he plays the Y. Right? He can play every receiver position, and it's becoming easy to him. So do not expect for 1 second that CeeDee Lamb will only play in the slot this year. He's going to play. He's going to get against the number 1 corner at times. He's going to get against the number 2 corner at times. So don't proselyte the man to only playing one role and position. And I think that's the mistake in this conversation if you say that he's not going to be a big play wild card all season long for the Cowboys.
I didn't say that.
Mark my words.
See, you
Game
put words
changer.
in
He
my
will.
mouth, man.
Hold on.
Game changer,
Game
and
you
that's
want
what
me
he's
to hit that
saying.
button?
It is go ahead, but I'm saying is Amari Cooper the game changer. He's nice, he's nasty, but
He's
game
good. He's really good.
changer,
Thank
game
you, James.
changer,
Thank you,
game
James.
changer. Let me say it one more time.
Thank you, James.
Game
Thank you.
changer.
Thank you, James.
Hey, I love being a Cowboy. And
Big Game James.
Game changer.
Hey, let's have some fun. Let's have a good time, man. Let's kick it.
Man, yeah, but I do agree. Game change. I do. See, what's crazy is this argument is the dumbest argument ever, actually, because all of them. Right. I was looking at Law
Civil War.
A civil war for nothing, for real. We all brothers around here. All of them good.
But it's fun though. It's fun.
It is.
Jesus,
But
it's
I
fun.
was right.
But we got to
I was
understand
right.
this too, though. You saying that what he can do, we have to see it. I'm like Dowden Thomas. Let me physically
We've seen. Don't say that, Law, because you've seen it. You've seen it.
Pull
Don't
up
do
some
that,
film,
Law.
do some film breakdown of him
you
playing
just,
on the outside all year.
no, I think you just throwing it
We
up
haven't
now.
seen it yet.
You seen it.
We haven't seen it. I know the kid can run.
And you know,
but I have
and you
to
know
see
in your heart. You know in your heart. You just talking right now, Law. You know daggone well in your heart when you see the ball go to CD, you already get excited inside because you already know this could be something big when CD get this ball in his hand.
Oh yeah, now
Because
he got that yak.
because Amari got that great route running, but I'm gonna say the CD Lamb is more explosive after the catch than Amari Cooper.
So you gonna forget about Gallup?
Oh no, we
I
got
ain't
Gallup coming.
about it. We said
Gallup's
game
elite.
changer. I don't
Law.
think game changer. Gallup
up.
is nasty, but is he
Law.
a game changer?
Law.
Can't give him that.
I'm serious. Law, I'm dead serious. So this man done swung at you. I'm just curious. Are you
3, 2, 1, drop it.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go.
Off the top rope. It's time for the Law to lay it down. Cowboy Nation, at the end of the day, seeing how we having this conversation for the nation of talking about who's going to cover who. Just imagine the opposing team, our opposition.
Right.
They sitting there saying that, man, they don't just have one game changer. These rascals got 3 of them.
Right.
These guys gonna be one kill you with running nuances. The other one kill you with pulling the ball, yanking it out of the sky. And his name is Michael Gallup. And now you got a mixture of both. CD Lamb. So I'm looking at this thing one way or another. We got 3 of them, all 3 of them. Game changer.
All three of them.
All 3 of them.
All 3 of them. And then let's not forget about our tight ends, because we had a tight end who got hurt the first game, and we were all excited to see some Blake Jarwin. And then Dalton Schultz, and I ain't saying he is no game changer, but what I else will say is he steadily showed something that I didn't think was there, and that's a pleasant surprise. So now you got another person who had a career year that we didn't think was going to happen. Now you got Blake Jarwin coming back in the fold, and we saw what he could do in small spurts. So you got those 3 guys, and then you add those 2 guys in there with an Ezekiel Elliott and a Tony Pollard. Yeah, that means explosive offense, and I apologize to you guys once again for being low on that number, because after I did all the talking, I had to slap myself and say, you were so wrong on that one.
But see, you real enough to do that, though. That's one of the main reasons I always love doing shows with Big. Big is not in his ego. He'll jump out there tough and punch you, but then he'll say, my bad, bro, you wasn't the enemy. You know what I mean?
I didn't mean to hit you like that.
I didn't mean to hit you like that. All right, so let's catch up real quick.
Give me with a body blowing that hurt.
Let's catch up, because I won that debate. I'm going to just go on crown myself.
You ain't winning. Me and OC won that. That wasn't even close. Me and OC won that. Ask the people in the chat. Me and OC won that.
Who won in the chat?
Ask people in the chat. Ask people in the chat.
You didn't know Boss Cowboy does that. He always crowns himself the winner. He always crowns himself the winner. Self-declared winner.
Ask people in the chat. Me and OC won that one, and Boss and Law lost.
No, Law
that's
did the
we
right
won.
thing.
Y'all want a cookie?
Y'all want a cookie?
Yeah, I want a big chocolate chip cookie. You feel me?
I do. I want a cookie. I'm gonna go buy one. That sounds good.
I want a big chocolate chip cookie with some milk.
I want a large one.
Hey, real talk. I really want CD Lamb to be that game changer. I really want them to be foolish enough to roll cover CD Lamb way.
CD Lamb gonna go nuts. CD Lamb going nutty this year. He going nutty.
CD Lamb. Oh my goodness, that's good. But one-on-one to the outside with Amari Cooper, that's a tub right there.
But you know what? Like I said, what you really gonna see CD really turn up, in my opinion, is that yards after catch. I think he's really gonna get his yak this year. I think he's really gonna be explosive with the after he gets the ball in his hands, he is going to be nasty this year. Just watch this.
Agree.
All right, man. We lost. All right, let's catch back up.
Yeah, you lost.
No, listen. I won. But this the deal. Amari, over, under. PFF. I'm over.
Yeah, I'm over.
I'm over.
All that talking y'all did and then over. Blast.
So what? But that don't mean who's game changer. That don't got nothing to do with over numbers. We say game changer.
3, 2, 1, drop it.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody laying down the law, dog.
Yeah, no.
Next subject.
I want to finish with
we're
law,
gonna be.
man.
Let's go. Hey, matter of fact, let's do offensive line, and me and OC gonna just tag team.
We'll do that next week.
We'll
go defense.
Don't go defense. I'm definitely gonna win if we go defense.
Can we touch a little bit on the tight end? Can we touch a little bit on the tight end?
Yes, go ahead.
Who's gonna be that third tight end? Are they gonna keep a third? That's what I want to ask y'all. Are they keeping 3 tight ends?
Yeah, sprinkle me. He sprinkles.
Who?
He's gonna be
Sprinkle
the third tight end.
It ain't gonna be McKinnon.
Man,
he got a chance.
He got a chance. Unless he got a sponsor too.
They liked him. They kept him active on the active roster last year.
You know, there was a guy that had 63 receptions, north of 600 yards with 4 touchdowns last season. And I doubted him all the way until last season, midway. I said, man, this guy surprised the hell out of me. Can he repeat that? Because I believe Blake Jarwin never had those type of numbers. And of course, Blake Jarwin was handcuffed because they had a guy named Old Reliable on his team. So where do you place number 86, Big Game James, the OC and Boss Cowboy?
Go ahead, OC.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man. I place him as a solid wide receiver, but he plays like a wide receiver, even though he's a tight end. I think that I think that Jarwin is a guy that plays like a big, like slot
He
size
said
type
86.
wide.
Did I hear you right?
Oh, yeah, 86. I ain't
86.
talking about Jarwin. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
86.
I'm sorry.
You
Oh,
talking
my
about
bad.
Schultz.
I was about to say.
Schultz.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I was
We
like,
all
Schultz,
like,
receiver.
what
I
are you
said,
talking
oh.
about, bro?
I said, yeah,
No,
Schultz,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
like,
I'm sorry. You're talking about Schultz. Yeah, I think that Schultz is man. I just hate to say
average.
You're forcing
Average.
me. I think he's a bot. I think he's a. Let me say my own words, Big Game. Hold on, because you're feeding me right now. I say that Schultz is average. I think he's an average dude. He's an average dude. He's an average tight end. He's a guy that is just okay. Could you live without him? Yes. Is he gonna get some touches because somehow they like him? I guess he will. Is he a game changer? No. Will he get some run because he has some tenure? Yes. That's what I think. I don't think he's anything special. I don't think he's completely horrible. I just think he's a guy. That's what I think.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're
he's
good
a
on
guy.
tight end, man. You know, tight end 1 and 2. You know, and then we don't really go at tight end that much anyway. So I wouldn't lose not a wink of sleep on tight end, not at all. I feel very good about our tight ends. I'm actually now thankful that Jarwin was hurt because it gave Schultz those epic reps, and it allowed him to become a big boy. And he likely wouldn't have been a big boy, just like Steele, just like Knight. It was a lot of blessings in the curse of 2020.
So you see like a lot of 10 personnel, 20 personnel now, or shoot, they're still gonna utilize one of those tight ends.
20 will be a good change up. It'll be something that, and for those who don't know, he's talking about 2 running backs and no tight ends.
Tight ends.
So that's 3 receivers, and that's a good change up, right? So that make defenses say, how we gonna account for Pollard? Do we try to approach that with a base? Do we try to come at that with a nickel? If it's a nickel, the guy's too small, right? If it's a base, the guy's not athletic enough, right? So that's what I like, Law, and whoever said something about the 20. I do like the 20, and I would want them to really do that. But I would want to also lean on the OC on that because he's the offensive guy. I know I'm pretty good at schemes, but I would want to kind of punt to him.
Yeah, I think that, if you deal with 20 personnel, this is all about having one-on-one matchups and understanding, are we going to have a lead back, right, running the football, right? Because we did see that a little bit with Ezekiel Elliott in certain formations when they ran the split back or the 2-back formation, having him be the lead back for Tony Pollard. I don't do that to my $100 million running back, not to me.
Right.
What I want to do is use him as a diversion, right? So I want to either use Zeke. I want to have a fake lead to Ezekiel Elliott and have a flare route or a fast screen to Pollard, or I want to do vice versa, right? So I want to basically use the 20 personnel to create one-on-one matchups and to get my backs outside of the hashes in space versus DBs versus slower linebackers, and that's how I explore the defense, especially if you show that you are a questionable tackling team. That's what I do.
So you line up, and then right before the snap, you motion Pollard onto the outside. You still got Ezekiel in the backfield.
Yep, vice versa. You can run either one of them, or upon the snap, right? Even if you don't motion, even if it's set hut, and I'm doing a play action handoff to Ezekiel Elliott, and I'm doing a flare route, or I have Lamb, I have him playing the Y, and I do a quick 2 to him, right? Because now we got ISO 1-on-1, we got ISO, so now we got yards after catch. right? I can do a combination of things out of that formation. I could do what's called, I could do a 399, right? I could do a clear out, run an inside receiver to the sideline with a quick out route. That's a very, very effective quick underneath route, yards after catch. I could do a middle screen out of that. I could do a play action rollout with using one of those running backs as a lead block, a quick rollout pass, right? A flood type of situation. I could do trips. I could do a lot of stuff. So I like that formation because it's very gimmicky. And, you know, at times Mike McCarthy and especially Kellen Moore, they can be a little bit gimmicky. And it does give you some gimmicks and some concepts to play and bait that defense, even if the play doesn't work. And that's the key. Even if the play doesn't work, the defense has to honor the look. So the next time you come out in it, you can use that as a setup for something else you want to do.
Especially if they line up single high and they got the guys inside the box, you want to spread it out. So they give you that single high look. You got Tony. Ooh, he'll spread that thing out. They get out of that look.
I can force you into the front that I want you in. That's what I can do. I can force you into the front that I want you in, and then I could exploit your weakest defender one-on-one. That's what I do.
Is Kevin? I'm about to say Kevin Moore. Is Kellen Moore? Is he on that level yet? Is he on that chess level, or is he still on checkers? Let me know.
No, I don't think he's on checkers. I think that he's an intermediate chess player. I don't think he's an expert chess player at this point. I think he's proficient at calling plays. I think he's proficient at seeing concepts. I think that his mentor and Mike McCarthy is on that chess level with prep. I think this was his first year. I think you'll see Mike McCarthy's influence a little bit more. And I think that the offensive play calling and schemes and matchups will be a little bit sharper this year. So I think that Kellen Moore will get there. I don't think he's bad, but I think he's solid. And I think Mike McCarthy will help him with recognizing some of those situations.
Is that why they brought in McAdoo?
No, McAdoo just a good old boy hire. That's because he liked.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute.
No. Hey, McAdoo. No.
Wait a minute. See, we talked about that Saturday, huh, Big?
That's a good old boy.
Yeah,
hire.
we talked about it.
Should I school him or should I let him make it?
It's both of them.
Right.
It's both of those. What he's saying, though, boss.
Yeah.
I think it's what we're saying as well.
You OC friend.
It is. No, it ain't. It's the truth, though, boss, and you know it. It's the truth. I can't lie about it. I still am not running away from if you have a guy that'll actually come up there and say, "Nah, I wouldn't do that," or "This is how I would attack that defense." Yeah, you want that, but yes, it is too. That's his friend. That's the first thing we found out. Once that was his boy.
But it wasn't like the OC said, man. The OC, I'm gonna use our word, denigrated. You know what I mean?
How come he didn't get nobody else to do it?
No, you saw that, man. You saw the denigration, man.
I'm saying though, boss. How come if that ain't the case?
I'm the only one that's gonna punch on the OC right now for that denigration. That was denigration what he did on being McAdoo.
Listen,
right
Boss
now,
Cowboy. Say what you please. Say what you please, Boss Cowboy.
I'm
but quiet as it's kept. Quiet as it's kept. We know that Mike McCarthy has not a proven pattern, but it lends to a little bit of a small track record of hiring those who he previously coached with, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, okay? I'm not saying anything personally bad about Ben McAdoo. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm simply saying that it's because he likes the man, they have a relationship, and perhaps Ben McAdoo, I don't care about the UFO species. I don't care. I ain't crazy. No. Listen. Also, let me give you another perspective. And I shared this on our show, Boss Cowboy Sports. Like, share, subscribe on that. Listen, I shared this on our own show, Boss Cowboy. I said that Ben McAdoo is also can serve as an insurance policy if a Kellen Moore gets away next year. He can serve as some sort of insurance policy, and he could be a voice of reason of recognizing certain things.
Wait. What do you mean?
What's Kellen Moore contract?
Wait, hold on. If you saying if Kellen Moore just got re-signed, and they're not gonna let him go because he's gonna be the next coach of the Dallas Cowboys. You saying if he left, McAdoo would be the coach?
That ain't for the fight.
I'm saying insurance policy. I'm saying insurance policy. I'm saying insurance policy because somebody could.
This is Kellen Moore. Next
Yeah,
over
because
coach
listen,
Dallas Cowboys,
Hey,
Kellen Moore.
listen,
that's
big
your boy,
game.
man. What you
Listen,
gonna
big
do?
game. Here's the deal. Listen, here's the deal.
Mhm.
We know that the NFL is in a pattern of hiring hot shot coordinators, right? So if the Cowboys
ain't
make a
going nowhere.
tremendous run, right, a tremendous run, it could be somebody to come in and say, "Hey, I want this guy." No,
The OC.
set me straight. Set me straight.
No,
I'll tell
you
you why.
set yourself straight.
Go
Keep
go
me
ahead,
this.
James. I'm gonna ask him
Let me
this
set him
question.
straight. Let me set him
Go
straight
ahead.
now. Now I said when Kellen Moore first got on this staff, I said that's the next head coach because you know how they love the Garrett thing, and I'm not saying they're trying to make it like the Garrett, but guess what? The Joneses love bringing up them young guys. Them young guys that nobody was really talking about, so they could say, hey, this is our homegrown guy. This is the guy that we built up. And you had an opportunity to go back to Boise State. What was the reason that, things just didn't work out? Oh, I'm just sorry. I'm not going to believe that Jerry Jones didn't have a conversation with Kellen Moore and said, you need to stay here because you could be the next head coach of Dallas Cowboys. He went over to Boise State and said, okay, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and go on with these Cowboys. Boise State head coach or Dallas Cowboys, potential head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Because let's keep it real. I think that if Mike McCarthy had a train wreck at the beginning of the season, let's say just for some crazy reason, Dallas started 0-5, who's going to be the coach? It's going to be Kellen Moore that's going to be put in because he's going to want to see how he can produce. And if Kellen Moore does any kind of good, if that was happening, he would be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys because he's young. Everybody on the team, yes, everybody on that team loves Kellen Moore through the organizations, through the players. And I'm telling you, dog. And they brought in Mike McCarthy. They brought in Mike McCarthy on a 5-year deal. They brought him in on a 5-year deal. Kellen Moore was so young, only like 32 years old. So if you don't make it, that's 5 more years. That was 5 years of you getting seasoning. Come on in. You like 37, 38.
I see what you said, Big Game James. You saying that basically Mike McCarthy is making sure that his base is covered, so he sends in the Trojan horse. Because how would you feel, DOC? You know, how would you feel if you the offensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys and I'm operating the team and all of a sudden I bring on boss Cowboy and say, hey man, he will oversee all what you doing. How would you feel about that if you was put in Kellen Moore position? I'm about to call him Kevin again. But Kellen Moore position. How would you feel, DOC?
To your point, Law, I would feel slightly irritated that I'm the man.
I wanted to know.
I've been here. You brought your homeboy in here, right? He's a backup plan. He's a guy you trust, because I was the only holdover from the staff that all got fired.
And why is that though, OC?
To your point, Big Game James, obviously the Jones family likes him, but I'm going to challenge you on this, Big Game James. To put him in a head coaching position is a little bit premature. He's not experienced enough, even if it went bad. Even if it went really bad for the Cowboys, that is premature. That is setting him up at this point.
Hold on.
Excuse
me, DOC.
Was Jason Garrett?
Excuse me.
Was Jason Garrett?
Jason Garrett has been
on top of that. Hold on. On top of that, was he?
No, he was a quarterback coach at Miami, and then he came over as an offensive coordinator a couple of years, and then got the job.
He went from quarterback coach to offensive coordinator. We had to learn.
He
had to learn the job on the fly.
And that
and
was
then
a
he got
mistake
and then he got the job.
And that was a huge mistake that the Dallas Cowboys made that I am hope that they learned from, that they would not put a young coordinator without the proper veteran support and staff in that position again. And so I don't think that the Jones at this juncture, because they're trying to go for 6, with all this money they put into Dak, with all this money they put into draft picks and everything they're trying to do with the organization, that they would give him the keys to the car and he just got his driver's license. I don't think that's going to happen. Not right now. Even if it went bad this year.
Well, see, I'm gonna say I think it would, and I also feel like I said, they went with the Mike McCarthy because he was the veteran, so he could teach a Kellen Moore. So basically, Mike McCarthy was your prep guy. So if you fail, he prepped you good enough to go ahead and take the reins. I'm looking at it that as well, because I'm telling you, in my opinion, Kellen Moore is gonna be that next head coach of Dallas Cowboys.
Very well could be big game. I can't say you're wrong about that. I just think we're a little bit premature, baby. He need to be in the belly another trimester,
I
baby.
feel you.
You
I
don't
feel
have
you.
babies. They gotta say in the premium.
Trust me. Trust me. I'll
You gotta be in the
with you
premium.
100%.
Somebody
I'm with you
is-
100%. He's not ready, but I just feel like the Joneses are like, we gonna get him ready.
Yeah, and I think that'll be foolish to do unless another 2 years pass at least. That's just that's how I'm seeing it. The moxie, the stones, the command, the leadership in the locker room, having the older guys respect you as well as the younger guys, not just connecting and being their friend. Right? You're the boss now. You from offensive coordinator to the boss. And you got to motivate and hold grown men to make way more money than you accountable, and you barely got hair on your face, and they looking at you like, who are you? You just were the water boy, and you were a quarterback's coach, and all of a sudden, who do you think you are? I remember when you just came here, right?
Are you
dealing
accusing
with
Big Game James of drinking Kool-Aid?
I'm thinking he took a sip. I think he took a sip.
No, listen. I've been hold on. I ain't running away from this thing. I've been on Kellen Moore from A1 day one. I've not moved away from Kellen Moore. I told him when Kellen Moore came on the staff, I thought he was going to be the new offensive coordinator. So I've always been on the Kellen Moore train because I think he has a good mind. And maybe it could be a mistake. OC, I ain't saying that it ain't. I do think he needs more seasoning. I do think it needs to happen more. He needs to grow more. I don't think he is ready for it right now. But to me, it just looks like the same thing how they set it up with Garrett and how Garrett was the quarterback's coach. All of a sudden, he comes over to Dallas with experience, and you're the offensive coordinator, and then you get paid all this kind of money to stay. You were the hot coordinator. Everybody wanted you. Some people were wanting you because you're hot. Dallas said, no, we're going to make you all kind of money. We're going to assign you to all this kind of money. And then as soon as it went bad a little bit, guess who was coming in control of everything? Good old Garrett. And you could see it from afar how they were setting it up and how it was usurping the authority of the coach. And when they got rid of everybody on the staff, like I said, like you said, OC, they said, we ain't getting rid of Kellen Moore. And then McCarthy saying in his interview, oh, hey, I love Kellen Moore. That's one of the people I was going to keep anyway. No, you wasn't. You kept him because Jerry Jones told him.
Well, listen, we've always had a mixture
Man,
of
y'all not going to keep on talking about no Kellen Moore.
Listen,
I'm just saying, it's
Jesus.
This is important. This is important.
I kicked the hornet's nest with that, but here's the situation, though. This is what I believe with Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore, like Big Game James said, in the OC is saying too, he is a brilliant mind. It's just that we have to go through the growing pains. Case in point, and we can move on from here. Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, you pick those two up and you put them on the 49ers. I believe the previous conversation, we wouldn't even be having it about their skill set and what they can and can't do. I digress.
Right on. Hey, we got one more. All right. And I think this one is the worst one by PFF because right now I'm over on it all. I'm over on CeeDee Lamb. I'm over on Amari. I'm over on, I think Ezekiel. We gonna come back to Zeke. But what's up, Sadiqa?
What's up, Mr.
Charles?
Mike Gallup, 938.
Pedestrian.
Ooh, man, they
mediocre.
Let's look at his first few years, though.
He the number 2. But go ahead, because you might talk me into that one, big. Because
Well, I'm not disrespecting on Michael Gallup. I'm only reason why I'm saying that it would be close to. I think he can get close to more of it than close to 1,000. Yeah. What they're saying, because I feel like we already said Amari's going to turn up this year, right? We already said he's going to have a high number, and I think CeeDee Lamb's going to have a high number in yards too. We just talked about what he had. He almost had 1,000 with them guys. You don't think he's going to get over 1,000? We see Amari Cooper almost have another career year with them guys and not Dak. And we've seen, if you look at Michael Gallup, he averages around 60-something catches a year. That's around his average. That's what he does. So I don't see him going like 70, 80 catches. I don't see Michael Gallup doing that. I just don't. I see him being around that same 60, maybe 70 yards, and he could, but in those games we see with Michael Gallup, he is still more. The only way I see him getting different yards if they're moving him in that slot. But if they're solely keeping him on that outside, I don't think he's going. I think that's a pretty good number, even with this contract year. So a lot of other people going to get that ball. If you look at he got what 1,000. What did he get his rookie year? He got what
507.
507, and then what did he get his second year?
1,107 yards.
1,107 yards. He turned up, but he didn't have CD though.
He didn't have CD.
No, but he had Cobb. Cobb was a solid.
Cobb ain't no damn CD right now.
See, I ain't say that, but I'm saying he was solid. Come on, you
solid, but he wasn't CD. When we brought over Cobb, Dak was okay. We got insurance, but he wasn't like, "Ooh, see, Cobb gonna come over here and have a phenomenal year." You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
So
Cobb was an added
extra
piece.
Game, he not gonna do. He not gonna do it.
Yeah, extra game. Got to add that in.
I know it's an extra game. I know, but.
They slapping
look,
all these
I'm
balls,
not disrespecting no Michael Gallup at all. I just feel like I think he's okay receiver.
I think that he's underrated. Big game. I'll just be honest with you, straight up. I think the guy's underrated. I think that he has the highest reception average out of all three of those receivers. Right, for his career,
because they like to go deep with him though. Because is his route tree expanded though? OC is that's why they go to him like that.
Well, yeah. Regardless of where they go to him, no big game. He still got to catch the ball and make the play. I mean, so it doesn't matter what route and he got to get open, right? So he's shown the ability to get open at the top of that route tree. He's averaged 15.6 yards per catch over his career. Okay, and so he had
a high drop guy too.
Yeah, he has dropped the ball some, no doubt about it. But I think that with the one-on-one matchups, which you have in this offense and hopefully a healthy offensive line, you get more one-on-one matchups down the field. You got him on the post routes, on the corner routes, on the go routes, right? You got him running, a little bit, some hitches and some curls, but a lot of times he runs those sevens and those posts and those go routes, right? So here's the deal. I think that, he gets back up to that second-year average. And if he averages 16.8 yards per catch, or just round down, let's say he averages around 16 yards a catch, which is what he did for his 1,100-yard year, and he catches 65 to 70 balls, that's going to get you around 1,200 yards, 1,100 to 1,200 yards. So I think that's the sweet spot. He's around 1,100 to 1,200-yard receiver in this offense.
We'll see.
And then when go ahead.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Law. We'll see because also Blake Jarwin was hurt last year, and if Blake Jarwin plays the whole year, I feel like Blake Jarwin's going to have a good year, and I think he's got a good rapport with Dak Prescott as well, and he's going to take some of those pass catches as well, especially if he's healthy all the year. I think Blake Jarwin's going to be a bigger threat, and I think Gallup may suffer because of that. I don't know if he gets no 1,200 yards this year. I don't see that.
I don't look at this offense being a West Coast style offense. I still look at this offense primarily being a vertical spread type of offense, meaning that it's dominant X. And the reason why Amari Cooper eats so much because he just crazy with his nuanced route running. And Gallup always was a guy that had to develop. Now, when you start talking about his second year, Cobb was doing his business work inside. And then, of course, Cooper still did his deal a little bit. Now, when you think about a person that can take the top off the defense like a Gallup, you can't double team everybody. So that number going to have to flux somewhere. So I look at it like you were saying, Big Game James and the OC. If Lamb is going to be that person to eat, somebody's going to be one-on-one. And it got to be this guy, Michael Gallup. Let me ask you guys, who would you rather kill you? Cooper,
Lamb, I like that
or
question.
Gallup?
Ooh, that was a fire question. Can you say that one more time? Who would
you like to kill you?
I like that question.
Who? Which one?
Hey,
Pick your poison.
If I'm a defensive coordinator, let me put on my defensive coordinator hat, and I love the question, Law. Fabulous question, right? This is where I'm at with the Boss Cowboy. If I gotta pick a guy that I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna take these other two away. I'm gonna try to limit these guys, and I'm gonna see if you can win the game for the Cowboys. It's gonna be Michael Gallup.
Yeah,
It sure is.
I'm gonna do everything in my power
right.
to
That's
to,
real.
to limit and eliminate. I'm gonna eliminate Cooper. I want to contain CeeDee Lamb. I want to let you get. Yeah, I'm gonna let you get some. I'm play a zone with you. Okay, I'm gonna zone and roll to you some. Right. I'm gonna let you catch the ball some because I know I can't stop you from doing that. But I want to tackle you and get you on the ground when you catch it. I don't want to let you run wild all through my defense when you caught that football. Right. I'm gonna let you get some catches, but you're going down as soon as you catch it. So we're working on a lot of tackling. And you know what? You know what? If I'm Michael Gallup, guess what, baby? You singled all day. I'm gonna put one of my best corners on you, or at least my second best one. I'm gonna say, okay, if you can beat this guy, God bless you. So be it. You just beat us. To me, if I'm a defense coordinator, that's how I'm playing the Cowboys. If I'm looking at
That's
this
how I'm
season,
We playing
doing it
against
on
a genius. We playing against genius week 1. I guarantee
doing-
they're gonna line up. They're gonna line up single high. They're gonna try to stop the run. And they ain't, look. I wish.
But Law, let me
I
ask
wish
you
they
this
do that
though.
Tampa
But Law,
too. I wish they do that
Law.
Tampa too, like they did Pat
Hold on
Mahomes.
now.
Law,
I wish.
Law. I want to ask you this though, Law. I'm not saying this happened every time, but when there was opportunities, I mean, even his rookie year and even last year, when there were opportunities for him to step up and beat a guy, did he do it?
You talking about that? You talking
Michael
about
Gallup. Yeah. When there was in the position where they were
Yes.
going to when he needed to make plays,
He
didn't
caught
do
that
it all the
ball
time
all
like
over
that.
Ramsey.
Yes.
He pulled it
no,
out of
because
the
look at
sky.
that,
Yes,
look
he
at that,
killed
look at that
Philly.
Cardinals.
He
No, look at
destroyed
that
Philly.
Cardinals game. Look at but look at that Cardinals
Put
game.
it like
When
this.
Dallas was in that game,
That was
did he
giving
drop
you
that
games.
touchdown? He dropped that touchdown too.
He did.
I
but
can rewind
He's
a little
averaging,
bit.
he's
in
averaging
2018.
eight. He's
When
averaging
was
8
he
drops a
called
year.
upon? You
I
asked
can
when was he
rewind all the way
called
to
upon?
2018.
Yeah.
Who was the only
2000
receiver to show out in that Rams game?
Right. And Rams again last year, right? When they gave him that old phony flop call.
Right, and so I also remember that Jets game when Amari went out and they went to Gallup and he didn't show up.
He just
And I'm
came
not
back from knee surgery. That was his first game
Oh,
back.
Was it?
Let
You
me know
sure?
if I'm lying.
Yeah, let me know on that one. And I ain't hating on Gallup, but I'm gonna give you a counteraction for a reaction.
Right. That's real. That's real. That's so real.
So Big Game James, you sitting there saying you the defensive coordinator. You saying, man, I'm gonna let 13 try to beat me.
Man,
I'm
get
gonna
that.
load the
I'm
box,
giving
I'm
it to
gonna roll
Gallup
my-
all day. I'm giving it out because you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go and watch some old tape. And I'm gonna go watch some old tape when other players weren't doing anything and they went to Gallup. And I'm gonna go to that tape and I'm gonna see what we need to do to Gallup, because to me, Gallup has a limited route tree. I know they play him in the slot, show me some more. But when I seen Gallup, it was a lot of them slants and them goals.
That's why it's so difficult. Somebody said in the chat box over here where I'm at, they say, what about those rookies? See, that's why the rookies probably have a slim chance of making this team. See how difficult it
Man,
is?
them rookies ain't gonna smell nothing. What they even talking about? The
Right,
only one
bro.
gonna have any kind of chances maybe Simeon. He ain't gonna smell nothing. Not like this his first year.
Nah, them balls is kind of heavyweights he going against. You know?
Yeah, they ain't smelling
And then
that.
even the number 4s are low-key heavyweights. They both special teamers. Like, people kind of sleeping on that on the number 4s.
Cedric
like,
ain't bad. I don't know why. I like Cedric
is
Wilson.
not bad at all. He's Mr. Reliable.
Mhm.
So if you
and he can
trying
play
to-
multiple positions as well.
Right. He can play both of them positions, but I'm thinking that's going to come down to special teams, right? Because you know
It is
Noah
going to
Brown
come down
get
to special teams.
Yeah, Noah Brown going to get down on that special
But they're
teams.
going to keep 6. So I think Simi's going to be the
Yeah.
6 because they're going to keep all the guys they usually have: Brown, Wilson, CD, Coop, and Gallup, and then Simi. That would be the 6.
Yeah, Simi's good.
Big
I like
Dave.
Simi, man. I like him a lot.
You was out there.
Yeah,
you was out there when
y'all
we was out
turned
there
me on to
with
him.
Reggie Davis. You remember that?
Y'all turned me
Reggie
on.
Davis.
Yeah, I remember that Reggie Davis. But I give shout outs to Boss and OC because I hadn't really looked at the Simi pick. And remember when we did our show with all 5 of us with Sky in there, Sky as well, and we were talking about what rookie pick that y'all liked. Y'all both went with Simi Fehoko. Immediately after that, because I hadn't really looked at him like that. Immediately after that, y'all piqued my interest.
Right.
Like, man, okay, damn, they jumped on him like that. Okay, let me really go look at him. And then when I watched him and then I was like, okay, I see why they like this dude.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of potential. He's got great size. He's got a great attitude, and I keep going back to it. He's really mentally mature. He went to Korea his first 2 years out of high school on like a Mormon mission, and he's already like 23 years old. So he's very mature. And I think for some reason, I just feel like him and Dak are really going to click. Just, I don't know why, but I feel like they're going to click up. I feel like they're going to click up.
Some people say I have a feeling. I'd be like, shut up. But when Big Game James say he got a feeling, I listen. Law, you feel me? I'm telling you, man. Something. I got a feeling. Shut up. I don't care what you got. Sit down.
Yeah.
It's too many times I done talked to Big Game James. He be like, I got a feeling, man. I got a feeling. And say, man, it's some people, you know, they got a gift for something, man. This dude here, you know, be playing with cats.
Hey, y'all was right about Simi. That was a great pick, and he went the 5th round.
Yeah.
Yep, and I think honestly, man, that him and Dak Prescott are gonna have good chemistry.
Great chemistry. They're gonna have great.
I absolutely agree with you on that, OC.
Yeah, they're gonna have great chemistry.
Because look, even when he was drafted, the first person he got a text message from, and he says this in an interview with Dak Prescott. He said, "We go light up the league."
He said, "Get ready."
We go light up the league.
And so you look at all of the interviews, and he's always around Dak. Yep.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, man, I've been lobbying for this type. I've been lobbying for Simi for 2 years, literally.
Wow.
2 years, not him specifically, but his type. The big route runner. You know what I'm saying? I wrote 2 articles and I mentioned it twice in my book that Dak needed him a supersized weapon. That's a route runner, and those are rare, right? So I knew the Cowboys would have to focus on that to go get him that guy to help in the red zone. And Simi can do that. You know, he's big, plus he's a route runner. Because all of us know the term Dak friendly came from him being really good with route runners, right? We all know that came from him having chemistry with Cole Beasley, which it wasn't the chemistry with Romo. So we know, like, the fact that Cooper came in as a true route runner and didn't need no offseason, because Dak is like a glove when they can run routes. It's just his game. He gets a confidence when he see you win, and he throws with confidence, and that's what Simi is. So I just pray that he actually win.
They all working out with him too at his crib.
They working out.
Yeah, he be having them at. He got the field at his crib, and they all work out. And man, didn't you hear that interview with Mike McCarthy? He said even when this breaks up and it's over, Dak is going to have all the receivers over here with him before training camp even starts, and they're all going to be over there. That's what he said in the interview. That's what they do. But think about this though, and OC, Law, and Boss. Think about this though. Dak is a dude you want to be around. When he calls you and says, hey, we about to get it in, you jump right up, you get your clothes on, and you go. Because Dak is that type of guy where you don't want to let him down. And I keep on hearing a lot of people in the organization, especially receivers, saying, we don't want to let Dak down. We don't want to let Dak down. His work ethic is impeccable. So as soon as we come out there, we're on it too. And they're always out there talking about, they're always in that field. They're always in that yard throwing with him, man. And you can tell when you watched him play last year. How did you see that? I mean, what did we talk about going into camp last year with Cedric Wilson, right? We were like, Cedric Wilson looks good this year. Cedric Wilson looks good. And what we were hearing, Cedric Wilson and Dak are on the offseason throwing the ball with each other, throwing the ball with each other. Did we see it last year, the effect and cause of it? Yes, we did. We saw the effect of what that work did, and we saw it specifically in that Seattle game when Wilson turned up.
Right. Yep, he threw Dak a touchdown, I believe, in one of those games. What was it, Giants game? One of those games.
Yeah, great point, man. Great point. Dak understands the power of continuity and the power of being on the same page and having that intimate time together so you learn each other. And the reason why quarterbacks want to throw the receivers early is so they can learn nuances and timing, and they can always be on the same page. So that's going to translate when they get into camp and they start playing against other teams.
Right on. I did want to take a comment real quick. My boy Kenneth, he said basically that Dak can throw to anybody, not just route runners. I slightly disagree, because I really, if you look at him, that's why him and Rico wasn't just perfectly ideal, because some quarterbacks, they're gifted at putting it on what I call on the rim. It's almost like a point guard that know how to perfectly throw up that alley-oop to where you can dunk it. Some people got a special touch, and when you got a receiver like a Dez, like a Rico, you got to be a rim thrower. Now, that's not taken away from Dak touch, because we know he got awesome touch, but if anybody say he don't develop confidence from route runners, I think you got to look at him a little bit closer, and you'll come around to what I'm saying. I'm certain on that.
Yeah, that gonna be that guy, man. I thought you were gonna slide and kick it over to the offensive line for your mind.
No,
Big
no,
KJ.
listen,
When
you trying to do
about
a 4-hour show, man. I ain't trying to do that.
well, one thing I gotta say. One thing I gotta say. One thing I gotta say.
You still gonna get it.
we can do this. Hold on. Before we go, I'm not gonna go into details. But one guy that I got to say I apologize to is La'el Collins. I think that he's been working out with your guy, Dak Prescott, and it seems as if though he's nimble and he's out there.
Oh, he's in hella shape.
So that's the only thing I have to say about that. And we'll talk about the offensive line since we got the OC. We'll talk about that on another episode.
That's the man right there. I'm be
there's a lot of stuff we got to get into.
But here's one last thing about La'el Collins too, though. I was hearing from some people, and I talked to some people, how they were saying that he didn't think that there was going to be a season, and so really didn't get on that preparation and didn't work out. And guess what? The season came, you wasn't ready, and boom, this what happened. But people hear them whispers in Dallas. People hear that talking, and everybody's people on that Taz this year. So La'el Collins knew he better not come out of shape this year. So it wasn't just him being motivated. It was Dallas Cowboys' fans and everybody else gonna be on your butt. So you better be in shape this year. Ain't no excuses.
Ain't none.
I think that in his mindset, in his psyche, Dak Prescott got hurt last season because technically if he got off the couch and stopped eating his oodles and noodles and donuts or what have you and not being overweight, maybe, just maybe, we wouldn't have seen Terrence Steele. He would have been.
You wouldn't have saw him. I know maybe you wouldn't have saw him.
Right.
You wouldn't have saw him.
See,
you wouldn't have saw him or Brandon Knight.
No, you can't do that, bro. You can't do that, bro. You gotta tell me when you go hit that like that so I can.
3, 2, 1, drop it.
You can't
You're
lay down
listening to
alone like
nothing
that.
but the best.
Drop it hard.
Let's go.
Time to do on that them Twinkies like that, bro. Listen, man, we on the first part of the season, right?
Right.
So we learning how to play together. We are a 4-man basketball team right now. So I just threw the oop, and Law just jumped too early. Now we go get our time.
Oh
now.
wow!
Right.
Hey, not to cut y'all off right quick. Not to cut you off right quick, but I just happened to chance the Bucks were getting. The Nets were getting smashed. Now they're winning by 3 with 5 minutes left in the game. Just want to throw that in there.
Woo!
Yeah.
They were getting smashed, and they just came back. They were down like 15, and they came back.
Yeah. Matt Owens had a real common sense thought, but I really want to address this from him because he played receiver. He said off-season work is so important so you can anticipate if a wide receiver would do inside, outside stem based on the cornerback's alignment. So because he played for Blend, so he was a baller. You know what I mean? So he not just talking.
Oh, he went to Blend?
Yeah.
That's what's up. My little homie just left there. He's going to East Carolina football team, but he just played at Blend. He was a safety over there. Isn't that Cam Newton school too?
Yeah, it's a lot of ballers come out of Blend,
and there's a lot of ballers come out of Blend.
A lot
Blend's
of ballers.
Good school.
Like
a lot of ballers.
It's when you say
like
Blend, boys
ballers.
with no ball, know that he came out of a jungle, for lack of better words, meaning those
For
guys.
real.
Yeah,
For real.
man. So final words on the chart.
Over. I'm over on all 5. That's my final word.
Oh, okay. You want me to go next, right?
You can go.
Over, under, over. Reason why I'm saying that Elijah Elliott will be under due to the largely facts of Tony Pollard. Split it.
I'm gonna say Dak over Ezekiel Elliott.
They should have put TDs down. They should have touchdowns.
I'm gonna say under. Over, under, over, very slightly over.
Damn, boy, you gonna stop disrespecting Michael Gallup like this, CJ?
It's not disrespect.
Like this, man.
It's not disrespect. Just how I feel. It's not disrespect. Just how I feel.
Yeah, and it's not disrespect. Like when listen, y'all. When y'all see me and Big, go ahead.
I missed. Go. Stay still. Stay still.
That's how we're doing it. Okay.
Shout out to Oak Cliff, baby.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's Bumba Clot.
Say Bumba Clot. Hey. I said, go ahead. I heard Lau cock that pistol. I said, go ahead, shoot him. Shoot him. But nah, it ain't no disrespect. When you see me and Big go back and forth like that, we always do that where, sometimes we see it the same, sometimes we see it slightly different, but it's no disrespect. Me, over on Dak, over on Zeke, because that's total yards, not just rushing yards.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. You can rewind though. We ain't holding you like that.
It's all good.
Ain't no rewinding.
Can I throw a curveball at you, man?
Yeah,
how many reception yards?
I would
For who?
look at history on that one, and then
number 21.
I would want to look at how Mike McCarthy used him, and I could get back with you. I had an answer for you next show, I promise.
I know he'd be getting around 50-something catches
I'll let Boss Cowboy finish, and I'll go ahead and give you an ansor, Law.
Okay. I mean, you said that like you said that like
you got me salivating now.
He was waiting to jump on that one.
Turn this off. Go ahead, OC. So you.
I mean, look, historically, Mike McCarthy.
Hold on, before you go.
Yeah. Okay. What was with the boo boo button? Why the boo boo button?
No, I'm just saying, no, you good, bro. I'm just being petty and cheap.
Why so petty, man? Why so petty, bro?
I'm treating you like you're not the homie, bro. You the homie.
I mean, why do we do this show after show? Show after show.
Do I do you like that?
Yeah, all the time, man. All the time. Trying to win arguments when you lost, saying I lost when I really won. Just doing all that kind of stuff all the time,
real, though.
man.
One more time, though. Hold on real quick.
Here we go again. So look, I think that Zeke will catch in the neighborhood of 400 to 500 yards this year. Historic with his career, he's averaged about 390 up to about 485 yards receiving. I do think that he gets between 400 and 500 yards because of the fact that if you're trying to overload and blitz him, that leaves you susceptible to screenplays. So in Mike McCarthy's offense, going back to Green Bay, they did throw the running back screen quite a bit, outside screen and middle screen. So I think you'll see him in the screen game. If you don't see him in the screen game, he'll probably be around 330 to 340 receiving yards because they may sub him out and use Pollard in the screen game versus blitzes and things like that. But if they utilize him in the screen game, then look for him to be between 400 and 500 yards receiving.
So you're saying basically he would have last year's numbers as it relates to his rushing total?
I'm saying that he's going to be over on rushing yards. I see him between 12 and 1,300 rushing yards. I see him in addition to that, I see him around 380 to 500 yards receiving.
Damn. So you're talking about a total of like what, 17, 18?
Yes,
Jeez.
exactly. Yes,
I think he could go off too, though. I do think he could go off.
That's crazy.
Yes.
By chance, do you know what Pollard would do then with all of that production?
I think that this year will have an explosive. They'll be very, very explosive offensively. Pollard is going to be really, I think, more of the same. I don't think that you have an explosive numerical year beyond his averages that he's had thus far, because this is still Zeke's team. And at the end of the day, he's good. He's a great change of pace guy, but I don't see him getting a surplus of carries and opportunities beyond what he's already had his first couple years. That's the way I see it, unless Zeke gets hurt. Even though he's a good change of pace guy, I see his stats being around the same as they were.
So if you Pollard, you probably want out after this year if he's not a team player. I'm just saying.
You want big money. You want big money, and you've built your resume by playing in Dallas, and you're going to have an opportunity to sign for a larger number with another team. As long as you're consistent and you're healthy, that's what you're going to have the opportunity to do.
And you can always draft another running back.
I'm just objectively speaking, by the way. I'm not saying that Pollard is like that, Cowboy Nation. I just want to put that out there. I didn't preface my statement, but I just got to say that.
You got to, man. It's a fair thought. It's a very fair thought. And nobody trying to run him off. He's definitely not trying to run him off. This is just like saying.
This is just the reality of the situation. It's dollars and cents.
It's dollars and cents. So like we talked about.
This ain't just football.
Right. We talked about that from safety with Kurtz, like with Minnesota. Sometimes you go to a place where the guy in front of you is just too good and drafted too high, and you just not go see the field. And it's the reality of sometimes where you end up playing football. Pollard is a good player that might be a superstar somewhere else. But when you got somebody that's a top 5 pick and been living up to that, Pollard,
and he got the big contract, you ain't seeing it.
Right. It's the nature and the evilness of the draft. It's just what it is.
It's the nature of the beast. You're going to have a $11 million dude on the bench while 500,000 guys starting. That ain't happening.
That ain't happening, bro. It's just what it is.
It ain't happening.
So my over-under, so I was over on Dak. I'm over on Zeke. I'm over on Mari. If he healthy, obviously. But if he's going to do that. I'm over on CD. I'm actually thinking CD gonna be closer to 12. I think he's gonna abuse Nichols this year. I think he gonna have about 7 to 8 touchdowns. He's gonna be the super security blanket for Dak. And when Dak was talking about him and his first words was, whew, I said, oh God.
Game changer.
Hold on now. See,
Game changer.
You can't do that, Jay. See, I can't stand you, motherfucker.
Game changer.
You set yourself up for it.
I love being a Cowboy.
To you.
Big game, James.
Game changer.
Let's have some fun. Let's have a good time, man. Let's kick it. Good time, man. Let's kick it.
Yeah, let's kick it, man. So that's now them segments gonna be for sale. So we got some sponsors out there. We got you. It's gonna be brought to you by if you want to pay for it.
That game changer's popping.
That game changer is popping, man. We ain't played the OCs all day. You see how we've been doing OCs?
Because you know why? OC is going to be dedicated to where we know we're going to have a game and we're going to automatically just know we're jumping into film, and that's when
we doing film next week. We just ain't.
That's when the OC going. That's when we say we're doing offensive line, and OC going to be the man.
All right. So listen, the OC segment we shouldn't show you, but we gonna show you. So y'all look out, man. We got the OC coming. We gonna be doing special film sessions every week.
The film breakdown.
The OC.
Yeah, we do
So-
that.
so let's-
Feel good about. Let me do that again, though. Y'all listen.
Stepping up.
OC.
The film breakdown.
So let me wait 1 second. Hold on. Let me ask the fans something. Y'all put in the chat. Do y'all like that music or not? Okay.
Man, man. You over, man.
Shut my music.
Change
It's
your
ain't
phone.
your role,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. See,
Shut my music,
change
man.
it.
No, man. See, you got
Change
the
it.
lady on yours. You got the lady on yours.
But it don't matter. I feel OC because if Boss would have did that to me, I'd have been, man, take that off.
With all them, everybody
Right now.
got killer beats. Everybody got killer beats.
If you would have came in with like big game James, I'd be like, take that shit off.
It's just horrible, man. You know, this is the disrespect I deal with.
I hate everybody.
They go
It's
hard
horrible.
on
Everybody.
It's horrible.
Let the people. Let the people
call.
People are talking. The people are talking. The people are talking. They're saying it's trash.
Okay,
It's
people
trash.
said trash, boss. People said it's
Run it
trash.
back.
It's
Run it back
trash.
one more time, boss. Run it back one more time. Let me hear it one more time.
Yeah, it's trash.
Say, man, see,
Horrible.
The salsa OC.
I saw
The
you
salsa
doing
OC.
the cha-cha to it, Law. See, Law was
Hor-
doing the cha-cha
horrible.
to it, man.
Say it one more
Listen.
time,
Hey,
man.
One more time,
Play
Law.
one more time.
Should
Play
I
one
give
more
it to
time.
him?
The salsa
All right, here
OC.
we go. Here
The
we go.
salsa
Everybody
OC.
got to be quiet, though. Here we go.
The OC.
The film breakdown.
Do we think we're talking about football when you hear that?
Oh, you know what you should have did? Have the female to say the OC and
I'm
the
just
film
saying.
breakdown. Let
No,
her get the
don't.
whole
Just take it
role.
all off. We need to come with some. You know what you need to come with, boss. If you're gonna do the film breakdown with the OC, you need to come with that daggone NFL music type. You know they play that.
Man,
You gotta
Come
find
with
it. You gotta find
I
that
would change the music. I would change the music, man. I would change the music. Listen, I would
This is
change it.
extra diluted weak sauce, and you know what kind of
Oh
stuff I
my
like,
God,
Boss Cowboy.
man.
You
You
said
know what kind of
extra
stuff I
diluted
like.
weak sauce.
Extra diluted weak sauce.
See,
You
he
know
said that's
what
that
kind
weak
of stuff I like.
Kool-Aid.
Oh man, we done had these
Y'all
conversations
act like
before. We done had these conversations before. Wait a second, hold on, don't say nothing. Shut up. We done had these conversations before. You know the kind of stuff I like.
Everything.
You know the kind of
all
stuff
the way
I like.
disrespectful, like you the one did these graphics or something.
Hold on, no, we're not talking about that. But you know, boss. That's all I'm gonna say. You know,
Man, so you,
it's all
you-
good.
you-
Hey, it's all
see,
good.
So this
You
is-
know.
All
Hold
right,
on. What did the people
okay.
say in the chat?
Listen,
Wait a second. What did the people say in the chat?
The people have
Okay, go
spoken.
ahead
My
and shoot
dog,
it.
the
Shoot it,
ninja
Law.
said that's a
Shoot
no
it.
for me,
Shoot
dog.
it. Go ahead, shoot,
He said
Law.
that's a no
Shoot
for me,
it.
dog.
Yeah, cause see, I was up with so I was gonna be nice, but now I gotta purge you. See, because
It's anarchy. It's anarchy. It's
Yeah,
anarchy.
yeah, I got it.
Okay, it's anarchy.
yeah, I gotta purge you for that, bro. You don't what? You know we're way off. So like, see, what you never do is you never critique that hard the person who actually does the graphics. You don't do that, because then if you want that person to upgrade you, you want them to be fast or take their sweet time. Just what would y'all do right now? What would y'all do right now with this man that said all this work you put in for him? Like this stuff just made itself. Like it just came together by itself or something. It didn't.
I'd have said
It was
this,
work.
boss. I'm like, I'd have said it to you though, boss. I'd have been like, hey man, for real, dog. I ain't hating. I know you put in a lot of work and all that, but come on, dog.
Say, man,
That's a
I need
come
a
on,
beep.
dog.
I need a beep sound because I'm finna cuss all you. I swear, man, y'all boy gonna get on your boy like this. Listen, no, but these segments are for sale. I mean
Segments.
that too.
Segments.
Yeah, these segments, you know, we go get some major sponsors up in here and we go sell them segments. I promise you that. So check this out. All right, so before
That's
we
another
get out
one.
of here, before we get
That's
out
another
of here,
weird one.
that's weak. You don't like that?
No, I said that's weird. Now it came a little.
Okay, yeah. Baseline.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Because yeah, okay. Because
I
when it first
some.
came out, it was like, yeah, when it first came out, I was like, oh, I said that's 2 for 2 for bad, boss.
That's 2 for 2. I got one more that might work.
This is good. I like that.
So see, this is what teamwork is, man. See, when your boy come in and he check you like that, I suppose to just leave him on this earth like he a baby, like he's an orphan. But what I'm gonna actually do is I'm gonna go to another sound and see if he like this one. Tell me if you like this one. This might be yours, man. Tell me if you like this one. This might be yours. All right. And see, he dead serious too, man. I can't stand you, bro.
That's
I'm
a
gonna play you
groovy one.
one more, and then we go.
This
get
is
about it.
grown. This is more grown people music.
It's that. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
They
not patient. They not patient.
I can roll with it. This ain't bad to me.
Yeah.
I like that.
Where did he get there though?
It's just dinner date. It's dinner date. It's just dinner date.
Right. So here's the ultimate test. We gonna let the music play, and then we gonna put it with his. And let's see what it look like. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at it. Oh no, that's not him. That's all. Here it is. I think that worked for you, OC.
Let's go with the first one, Austin.
Oh man, I ain't do it. Okay.
I appreciate all the hard work, bro. I appreciate the hard work. I respect what you do, bro. Okay, I'm gonna show you respect publicly to everybody. I respect what you do, bro. I appreciate.
All right, now we gonna get this right though, cause I want to know what's your segment. No, here it is.
No, the first beat, not that one. The first beat.
All right, here it is.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, I like that. I need the bass in my body. You know what I'm saying? I need to get the chest.
I think the second one was better, man. But it's your segment, bro. So hey,
I mean, you got all kind of different ones you can go with.
Yeah, man.
That bass line do go hard though.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
That female gonna say DDOC, you know.
Right.
Yeah, it softens it up. It's perfect. It's like a perfect
and then
balance.
She softened up.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Then you got my guy from the UK. He goes and finish it off. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we got the English voiceover. So we got you. Your order has been taken, so it won't suck after that, right?
Yeah, bro. I appreciate you, man.
Hey, no problem. I got you though. Your order will be filled by next show. Now, we got a lot more coming. This was the first time you saw the Fantastic Four come together. I enjoyed myself. I knew it was gonna be a long show because I knew all the people on here, man. Final words in any order.
I'll say final word. Just to get ready. I'm once again getting ready excited for training camp. Final word. They just approved it. It's been all in the papers. The Cowboys. The fans are going to be able to be at the camp starting the 21st. That's when fans can be there. We're going to be there. Law's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Hopefully, Boss will be there. I don't know if OC can get there, but there's going to be a lot of people down there, and it's going to be an exciting camp. So my final word is I can't wait for training camp. It's going to be exciting.
No doubt, man.
Listen, man, I want to see the battle as we get the roster down to 53. Who's going to make it? Who's not going to make it? Who's going to shine? Who's going to take somebody's position? How does the offense play as they gel together? Will the defense turn into a top tier defense, or at least a top 10 defense? These questions and more is everything I'm interested to see as we get closer to camp. Tune in every Tuesday to the Final Word, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, share these videos, comment, and we'll see you next show.
Final word from me, because Law go finish it off, is stay with the final word. Like, this is a fire group. We just scratched the surface. We went with the easy stuff. Obviously, it's going to get a little bit nastier as we get into the more controversial topics like the offensive line, some of the defense and the secondary. But you saw a little bit of squabbling today because fights go happen when people are smart and think different. It's going to happen. But you see, we fight well and we get through it. So the final word for me is definitely stay with the last word. And before you get out of here, go to everybody's channel. I want you to go to Law Nation channel. I want you to hit that like and subscribe. I want you to follow him. I want you to go to the Silver and Blue channel. I want you to hit that like and subscribe. I want you to follow him. I want you to also support these guys with their cash apps and super chats and all that kind of stuff. Because Law, he hit me up. He was like, hey, man, let's do this for the nation. Law got a lot of options. He's the vet of the vets in the group. He's the vet. But he was like, hey, man, I like how we rocked at the Waffle House. I like how we, seem to do business. And we really putting this together for the nation. All of us, know that we could be independent, but we also humble enough to know that we're greater together. So stay with the last word. You could tell it was a good intro, but we just scratching the surface. We haven't even revealed everything that's going to be showcased through the last word. And the last word is actually with Law.
Appreciate y'all, man, for all tuning in. Hey, we built the plane while it was in the air, and we got there, right? So the final word and the final thoughts, hey, people may have the first word. They may have the middle of the conversation for the nation, but the final conversation for the nation, which is the word, is the Dallas Cowboys. We need to show up and show out during this training camp. We need to stay healthy. We need to figure out these battles And on top of that, as content creators, we need to make our voice and our opinions be heard. And just like Boss said over here, hey, this is not for us individually. This is for everybody. So we try to put our thoughts out there so that everybody can grab them. Hey, I really appreciate everybody for making your donations and supporting and subscribing. And let's continue to grind and shine, baby. Yes, indeed. So Cowboy Nation and beyond, my name is Law Nation. This is the final word. And let's continue to grind and shine. That's been our time. I really appreciate you all for yours. Let's go.
Love it, Law. Y'all don't leave. I'm going to need to do something right after we finish. All right?
No doubt.
I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. I've been really in the field, let up. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Half a ticket to a meal. Lately I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. Lately I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up, count it up. Lately I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Reverend now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with J, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Half a ticket to a meal.